Welcome back. We have a very special guest today, a celebrity fitness trainer to the stars.
And he brought his human with him. You know, Drew Logan is one of the trainers on NBC's fitness competition Strong. But what you may not know is that he was born and raised right here in Kentucky. And he has a brand new book sharing his proven program of getting healthy once and for all. Here is the book. You are such a good spokesman.
I'm trying to help you sell some books.
Yeah, you're doing great.
That's right.
Drew,
I need all the help I can. Thank you guys for having me.
We are so glad to have you.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah.
I want to say, first off, we get mistaken for each other all the time in public.
I know.
It's almost embarrassing.
Somebody missed it early this morning.
Yeah.
I went for a coffee. They said, "Aren't you the Twitch?"
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, right,
all the time.
right,
I'm really
exactly.
glad I didn't wear that outfit.
Well, you text me. You said, "Don't wear the same thing."
Do you guys want me to leave so you guys can just like,
Yes,
grow out?
please.
I'm fine.
Top of the show, I said, I got to sit next to a guy that looks like this.
Yeah,
Like, come on, it's not even fair to me.
So the book is so exciting, but
Yes.
you just have a fascinating story
Thank
about
you,
how
yeah.
you got
Yeah, it's
to
great.
where you are today. 3 cardiac arrests. Was it all one day,
the same
right?
night. All the same night. Yeah, on the same
When
night.
did that happen? How many years
It
ago
was October
now?
the 4th, 2004.
Okay.
And they didn't realize it at the time, but they estimated, they said, we think you're the only person that's actually ever survived 3 in the same night. I mean, they called Mayo Clinic, they called everywhere, you know, so they couldn't find any other evidence. But I was living in Nashville at the time. It happened. I was at Vandy. And but it really turned out to be an interesting story, and a part of that is actually in the book. That the issue when I got better wasn't a heart issue. The issue that I got better, and what they don't talk a lot about with heart problems, is that it messes with the oxygen flow to the brain. So there was this mental fog, you know, of not being able to actually retain information. And actually, in the beginning, I had no short-term information in memory at all.
Wow.
People have open heart surgery. They talk about
absolutely,
that.
absolutely. So the interesting thing was when I went back to work, I couldn't remember. I'd already been a trainer and strength coach for over 10 years, but I couldn't remember the really detailed programs, right? And so I could read them on paper, and it made sense. When I went back to work, I couldn't really apply them. So ultimately, I ended up making up a 25-day program so that at any given moment, a person comes in and goes, "Hey, I'm on day 13. Hey, I'm on day 9." I knew exactly where you were in that sequence. And that became that.
Absolutely.
You know, it became that.
Was it, so you were already in really good shape when that happened. It wasn't like you were out of shape, had a heart attack.
No, not at all. And that's the common misnomer is a lot of people don't know the difference between a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. Easiest way to understand it is heart attack is like a plumbing blockage, right? And a cardiac arrest is just turning off the breaker. Just there's no activity, the heart just ceases to move, and you're just dead. You're just out. There's no pain. You're just.
So it's not one of those things like, oh, if I just did more push-ups, or I would just better if I ate better.
Nothing.
This is more from the
How is this your fault?
Yeah, exactly, right. My responsibility is that I was in great shape, and so the really kind of the amazing thing. It absolutely helped, and one of the amazing things is that they said the time between the 911 call and the revival was about 6 minutes that I didn't have oxygen in my brain or any kind of activity. So had I not, I think my resting heart rate at the time was like 42 or something like that. So I was in great shape. So and that certainly helped.
Definitely.
Now, in the book, it's a program. It's a program.
It is a program.
Kind of a mind-body connection, right?
Well, it's not just. So here's the interesting thing that we found out. Many years later, a Navy doctor diagnosed me with a mild brain trauma due to lack of oxygen to the brain. And in working with a neurologist, and he said, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And I explained what I did, and I said, "I've got this great program. I want to do a book about it one day." And he said, "Well, what you've just described is what's called a neurological pattern." And he said, and if your theory is correct, he said, then the brain chemical response to food and exercise can create a faster neurological response. So he sent me pointed me towards some studies. We did some research and stuff on that, and many years later, after Strong, and I had the opportunity to present it to Simon & Schuster, and boom, now we have this bestseller.
Yeah,
it's a bestseller. Amazon and Barnes & Noble both.
This is awesome. I mean, I know you're so pleased to see the response it's getting.
Yeah, I am, and it's really exciting, and I've got a lot of response from the hometown people here. Growing up in Lexington, I haven't been here in a long time, but but I mean, I come back for the holidays and stuff. But it's been really neat. So we're doing a book signing tomorrow out at Barnes & Noble from 11 to 1. A lot of people coming out. So it'll be fun.
It's going to be nice. Now, before we run out of time, we do need to mention Lucky, your service dog.
Lucky.
He's been with you ever since that scary health scare.
Well, it took a while to find both a service dog and also a trainer that could do it specifically. Lucky is a cardiac alert dog, right? So he's not just like a dog dog that makes me feel happy, although he does make me feel happy.
Yeah.
You know,
he makes everyone happy.
He makes everyone happy, you know, he has big ears. But he's a cardiac alert dog, so he's specifically trained to notice when I might go into a situation that would
something
be
noticeable
risky.
he can pick up on.
So there's a stress hormone that we secrete called cortisol, and his specific training is to be able to smell rapid increases in cortisol.
Oh, wow.
That is amazing
it's
that
crazy.
they're able to train dogs to do that.
Yeah, it really is. So, and he'll alert me from time to time, and I just sit down and get, you know, and get calm until he says time has passed. You know, and then once he says I'm okay.
He's basically a doctor, is what you're saying.
He totally is. He's
basically a doctor.
In fact, there are doctors that aren't as good as him.
I just wrote a TV show, Dog Doctor.
Let's do it.
Dog Doctor. Trademark.
I'm in it.
Trademark. We're in. Dog Doctor.
Slow motion shots of
I'll give
Lucky
you
like
executive
running down the
producer
beach.
credit.
I would appreciate it.
Okay, that'd be
I would
great.
appreciate it.
Alrighty, you can purchase a copy of Drew's book, 25 Days. It's a bestseller. You can get it at any major retailer, including Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And as Drew said, he's going to be signing copies of his book in Lexington tomorrow at Barnes & Noble from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Such a treat to have you with us. Congrats on the book.
Thank you so much. Thank you
So
for having
great.
me on.
All right, stay with us, everybody. We're back right after this.